What's up, guys? I'm Ryan Yurchek, tight end for the Marshall Thundering Herd. I'm ready to eat, so let's go.
Okay, so we've got quite the spread here. We've got the lasso patty, the patty burger, Philly cheesesteak, bacon cheddar cheese fries, and a chicken quesadilla. You told me you like to eat, so where do we begin?
I'm going to start off with the cheese fries, and then probably make my way to the patty burger. It's probably the #1 burger here at Fat Patties, and there's not a community in college football, and I truly believe that it values their football team as much as this community values, our football team. And it's a special atmosphere, from the games to seeing people downtown to coming into restaurants like this. It's an atmosphere unlike any other, and it's something that's really special.
Cheers to that then, okay? Cheers. That's good. That's really good.
For Marshall, the turnaround compared to a season ago has been remarkable. And while many had the Thundering Herd written off early on, Doc Holliday is having the last laugh. There's still a slim chance of a championship berth, but to maintain it, they cannot slip up tonight. It's Western Kentucky at Marshall on beIN Sports College Football. Is coming up next. Mike Gleason, Brett Romberg, and Michelle Gingras on the call.
Ouch.
They're celebrating Veterans Day. Enjoy the first half. We'll see you back here at halftime.
So it's never far from people's minds. Tonight, Marshall is paying tribute to the 75 lives that were lost in that plane crash in 1970. Moments ago, instead of running out of the tunnel, players linked arms and walked out onto the field in solidarity to show their support and tribute to those lives that were lost. It's just one of the many things that they're doing this game, including wearing special uniforms and special helmets to pay tribute. We'll get to that later in the broadcast. Guys, back over to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Michelle. Of course, Jack Lengel laid the foundation as Marshall started rebuilding that football program as early as 1971. It wasn't until 1984 when Stan Parrish enjoyed Marshall's first winning season since the 1970 tragedy. George Chopp led Marshall to the 1AA playoffs twice, and then Jim Donnan and Bob Pruitt followed with national championships. Partly cloudy, 40 degrees, 65% humidity, and Doc Holliday now in his 8th season. This is his 100th game coaching. 3 weeks left in the regular season. White opens up the game under center. Not too much running room on the first play. As we mentioned, they're only averaging about 76 yards. Some numbers on Mike White. 4 consecutive 300-yard games, but they need that because the running game has been non-existent. Doc Holliday saying took a lot of heart and love for the game. Says it's not easy to play college football. First play from scrimmage, they're going to keep it on the ground, and it's a nice cutback run by Tyler King, the redshirt freshman out of Fort Meade, Florida.
Talking about movement, you got your backside guard and backside tackle. Nice little counter play. Will Ulmer, young redshirt freshman out of Kentucky. Offensive line for Marshall. They don't see that at Western Kentucky or Eastern Kentucky because they don't do that.
Here comes King again on the pitch. Hits the left side again. This time he has some running room as he weaves his way up over the 45-yard line. And it's going to be another first down for Marshall.
You can see here again, outside zone, pulling the center as well, getting him up on #2 right there, having him go ahead and block him. You can see these offensive linemen, they're moving up and down this football field. Coach.
So White facing a 3rd and 9. Here comes the blitz. Pass is dropped at the 35-yard, 50 of the 99. Marshall had no more than 1 turnover. So very uncharacteristic, 7 turnovers in the last 2 games. This one's a complete. It's out to Willie Johnson. Johnson slips and falls at the 42, but they're inside Western Kentucky territory.
Yeah, Willie Johnson right now, they continually throw him the football, especially he's going to be in space and he's getting chased down by defensive linemen. You can see him right there have a little bit of a pig on ice factor when you saw big old
down to the 38-yard line. play action. Litton flips it out, and it's Davis. Davis all the way down to about the 26. That's the 14th reception for Keon Davis this year.
And this is where you can see that different style defense that Western Kentucky went ahead and implemented. They went over and changed from a 4 defensive lineman, 3 linebacker front.
King again, bounces to the outside. King cuts it back. King hurdles down to the 15-yard line. Another first down for Marshall.
I imagine that's why King is in, is because 5'11", 191 pounds can do this. Keon Davis at a whopping 210, 6'1". I don't know if he could be as acrobatic as that.
Well, back in Huntington, there's the numbers after 15 minutes. 7-0. Western Kentucky going 73 yards on their first drive. Beardall to snap. Jackson White to hold. And Vedvik is good from 29, so he's 7 of 12. Ja'Cour Pearson, a redshirt freshman, is back with Cameron Eccles Looper. And Pearson's going to get a chance to return one from the goal line. He's going to be wrapped up to shy of the 15-yard line. Lunges forward. They're probably spotted at the 15 for the redshirt junior. Boise State. As a matter of fact, he was at Western Kentucky with Willie Taggart a few years back. And Furby gets the call. White looking for Lucky Jackson, has it, and it's going to be enough for the first down.
Nope, incomplete pass.
He dropped it.
Yes, that's good point.
Litton has twin receivers at the top of your screen. That's where he wants to go. He fires, and he has his man. That's Nick Matthews. And that's going to be Nick's first catch this year.
Yeah, young fella out of Haymarket, Virginia. Usually comes in from Marcel Williams. Chase had all the time in the world, booting out to the right. Connected nicely in stride with his wide receiver.
Getting back with Brady. Remember, he did with week 2 at NC State, 248 yards receiving. That's a Carter Finley Stadium record there in Raleigh. Davis keeps those legs going inside the 35 and moves the pile down near the 30-yard line. He wasn't going down.
My goodness, if there's anything more attractive to an offensive line unit is watching your running back getting about 6 extra yards after you have 5 defenders hanging on top of him. Watch how low to the ground he gets right here, clawing and fighting. That's the January, February, March. So they're struggling quite a bit on this defensive front.
Davis again, boy, it's like a bull. Moves inside the 25 down to about the 22-yard line.
But right now they need a big play right now to drive these guys out of the field goal range, especially after a penalty.
Davis out in the flat. Litton comes near side. It's Willie Johnson. Johnson inside the 5-yard line. He's wrestled down by Messiah White, the linebacker.
You can see here, Messiah White ended up flying across the football field. He's got first. He's got his run responsibility, so he ended up.
Well, it's going to be 4th and 1. Got to get to the 2 for a first and goal. They're 44%, 8 of 18. This is the 19th time they've gone for it on 4th down this year. Davis gets the call. Davis tries to kick it into 5th gear, and Davis finds the end zone for the touchdown. That's 5 for him this year to tie Tyler King.
Unfortunately for DeAndre Ferris, he had Ryan Urachek on the block here. Watch Ryan Urachek go ahead and kick out this corner. DeAndre Ferris, a little bit of a size differential there, 6'2", 230 versus 5'10", 190 pounds, and Urachek handles that block professionally.
I'll tell you, we've seen some really good scenes in every sport here in this country when somebody comes back from overseas, when they're deployed, and we're going to have more on this story in a couple of minutes. Let's check in with Michelle right now.
Thanks, guys. I'm standing by with Specialist Zach Pettigrew and his family. How can you put this reunion into words? What was that emotion like for you?
It's just amazing. It's good to be home back in Huntington. You know, I can't thank Marshall enough for helping me set this up for my family. And it's just good to be home.
How does it feel to see Dad?
Good.
Were you surprised?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were surprised. Thank you so much for your service. Guys, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Michelle. Marshall with the lead, but kicking from the 20 this time, so Western Kentucky should have some pretty good field position. It's going to be taken at the 16-yard line. And then some. Boy, a nice run back that time by Cameron Eccles, Looper, and some extracurricular activities going on in front of that Marshall bench.
Yeah, that was not bright by Marshall's end right there. Granted, it was a beautiful, unbelievable hit because you saw Hooper try to get up in the air a little bit, and they took advantage of that and spun him around like a helicopter. But you don't need the 13 Marshall kids that are sitting on the sidelines over there to surround him and let him know that he got hit.
So coming up to make that tackle for Marshall was Vedvik, the kicker. The kickers always enjoy making a tackle. Here's Ken Ante.
Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty and end of the run. First down.
Kickers like to make the tackle, but they don't like to be flagged for it.
Well, you see here, they ended up losing contain. Great block right there. And then all of a sudden, you had Vedvik going ahead and just trying to let him know that I don't think you're going to be able to go ahead and get to the end zone, fella. But your offensive line, so.
Yeah, they had 3 all-conference players up front. White fires. No penalty flag. Good coverage by Marshall that time. Eccles Looper, the intended receiver. Looked like C.J. Rivas in coverage. Or Rodney Allen. Yeah,
that was
Rodney
Allen, yeah. Can't get enough praise for this guy. He's probably the most odd-looking offensive line coach, too, you've ever seen in your life.
There goes King again. And King is depleted. And that's Drell Green, the junior from Alma, Georgia. How's that for a form tackle?
I don't understand this, and I probably never will. Jumping, trying to avoid a tackle. And this is what happens.
Oh, knocked his mouthpiece right out.
That's like when you got to go to the hospital and check on your spleen. I've seen a few of those done before. Good job right there by the middle linebacker.
Big third down play right now. They're 2 for 5. Converting. This is 3rd and long. Litton comes up firing. Has his man at the 45-yard line. Willie Johnson gets up to the 50, and it's first down, Marshall.
Yeah, I know Chase right now isn't too happy about that low tackle coming off the edge. You can see here the right tackle's got his hands down, but he ends up getting beat on the outside. D'Angelo Malone ended up going ahead and hitting that.
And 2, not only with 3 wins, but losing 60-6. There's a sour taste in your mouth all through spring ball. Whoa, what a nice catch. That's the second one by Nick Matthews.
Finding a way to step up. Watching the walkthrough yesterday, I saw this route being run by Nick Matthews. This is going to be a side adjust depending on where his safeties are.
Never mind.
Your question, I didn't know if that was a word or not.
It's a word, but the fact that he eat more in the offseason, I guess. This is King. Boy, showing some moves in the open field inside the 20-yard line. King all the way down inside the 15-yard line. And that's his 10th catch of the year, and it's a big one. He had 5 last week.
Yeah, it looks like they're not only utilizing him out of the backfield, but they're also going ahead and giving him the football. And you can see him right there put Heath Wiggins on ankle check. He might have to go ahead and pick his shoes back up over there. He ended up on ramifications.
Vedvik from 42.
Nice and smooth with the leg.
Almost right down the middle of the freeway, so he's 2 for 2 tonight.
As he does the I'm cold again, trying to ice the kicker 2 times in a row.
Four seconds to go. Line drive kick by Vedvik. Taken at the 7-yard line. Pearson, the redshirt freshman, hit at the 15, and that's going to do it. Historically, 2 very high-scoring clubs with Marshall and Western Kentucky. Here in 2017, we've got a 13-7 ball game as they head for the locker room. We're going to head down to hear from Michelle and Doc Holliday in a second. Your thoughts on the first half? First play of the second half starts from the 36-yard line. King gets the call. King off the tackle. Boy, nice lane. And he picks up 10 on the first play of the second half.
Yeah, you saw Joe Brown in there trying to make an ankle tackle on him. And again, once again, you saw him get elevated a little bit, and Tyler King ended up going and just jumping right over that ankle tackle.
Who had 10 tackles in that first half, incidentally.
Just itching to get his name called.
5 of 9 on third down. Litton takes off, dives shy of the 40. Enough for the first down. They're going to move the chains.
I question the technique on that slide right there. It looked like more of an army tumble. You see Chase right here finding a little bit of a hole. Good job by the center, Levi Brown, right there, moving that big body of Julian Lewis.
Litton came into the ball game leading the league with 18 touchdown passes. Still looking for that first one. That's the third catch now by Nick Matthews. Pointed out, Mike Sanford had a good point. You can't do a whole lot when you just have the football. 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Play action. Litton swings it out. Guess who? Number 10 again. So Nick Matthews with 4 catches and the 17th first down of the game.
And the one thing I do like about this play is the fact that I keep seeing 85 Ryan Juracek, your star tight end, who's got now 39 consecutive games with a catch, is out there blocking. He's your lead blocker right there. I love seeing stuff like that. That's that extracurricular downfield. That's good.
Offensive yards with both losses. This is going to be Obi, still on his feet. Obialo all the way down inside the 10-yard line. A little shovel pass, so that'll go down as a completion.
Yeah, nice little flip to the wide receiver in motion. You see Obi coming across the formation here, and it's just a little give and go action.
More of a touch pass than a shovel pass, I guess.
Almost like a volleyball play. He's just going to flourish in this offense.
King inside the 5. King fighting for the end zone. Finds it. Touchdown, Marshall. So Keon Davis scores his 5th earlier, so now Tyler King has number 6 to stay 1 in front in that competition that you spoke of.
You've got to love the want on these running backs after contact. Yards after contact by both Keon Davis and Tyler King have been stellar tonight. He makes contact at the 5-yard line, and 4 other Western Kentucky defenders.
The second half, they go 64. The redshirt freshman from Fort Meade, Florida, finds the end zone.
Yeah, and they had one of those weapons came in here last year and got over 100 yards, along with their running back Baker as well.
Baker's out with an injury, and I think you pointed out Baker was almost a Marshall player. Wow, there's some really heavy hitting going on the kickoff coverage team.
That's the second biggest kickoff cover hit I've seen so far this year. That's Yulee going ahead and coming full speed down the left-hand side of your screen right now. And you can see him just no resistance whatsoever. Thank goodness for Eccles Looper going ahead and ducking a little bit. He probably saved himself a little bit of trauma right here.
Yeah, Jaquan Yulee, and along with out of Washington, D.C., and boy, the up-tempo. Western Kentucky really playing at an up-tempo speed right now. Furby again is brought down at the line of scrimmage. There's number 1, 83.
Look at that.
That's a pretty impressive number.
And the fact that I remembered it, even more impressive.
Well, while we're waiting, an updated score I'm sure you're interested in the first with 8:49. It's Notre Dame's Miami scoreless. Here's Ken Ante.
After review, there was an equipment malfunction. There was a review of the play that was awarded the first down. The beepers did not go. The play that was ran, there was a lost yardage, should not have taken place. So it would be first down and 10 where the first down was awarded.
That has to be one of the longest delays in a college football game that I've seen.
And explanations.
Furby in the backfield. Furby gets the call. Furby goes nowhere. He's hit immediately. Number 94, that's Channing Haynes, the redshirt sophomore from Baltimore, making the first stop.
Yeah, you can See right now, Channing goes ahead and splits that double team between the right guard and the center, finding a way to get through those.
He's really been on fire, hasn't he?
Unstoppable.
When we first started talking about that, I thought maybe Mason Fine would be up there, but Singletary's hands down. There's a sack, number 24. It's like Ryan B. came in with 4.5 sacks. It looks like he got this one.
Yeah, they ended up singled him up right there, and unfortunately for Tyler Witt, he didn't.
Heavy pressure. Kirby on the receiving end, and he's wrestled out of bounds. Good defensive play by Marshall. After all that, that's exactly where the ball was before, at the 49-yard line. Now Litton comes back, fires, has his man, Obiallo. Obiallo from Oklahoma State. In about 76 plays a game, offensive plays. Play action, White, far side, picked off! This is going to be a pick six.
And just as I open my big mouth, you get Nazeeh Johnson going ahead and jumping that route, throwing the ball across the field. Mike White, you got to have a lot of arm strength to go ahead and complete that throw.
Pick six, and that's going to be Johnson's first interception as a college football player for the redshirt freshman.
What a great play by Johnson. You see Johnson dropping back into coverage, spinning his head around once he sees the wide receiver wide open the way he was, and going ahead and jumping that route. I'm sure Mike White didn't see him over there either. But again, you got to just throwing the football across the field like that. You got to step up and throw that.
I thought you played a few years ago. Didn't you play like 9 years in the NFL? They gave you one?
Yeah, I learned to inherit one.
Okay. Pearson at the 1. Fumble the football. It's loose. It's going to be Marshall's ball.
I'm not sure if that was Quan Yu Lee that went ahead and stripped that football, but that's what it looked like to me. He came down again like his hair was on fire. He's on fire tonight on special teams. He finds a way to get down the football field faster than anybody, stripping that football. Just take a look at the coverage on this kickoff cover unit. Busting through. Yep, that was Yu Lee. First one to the party was Artis Johnson, going ahead and making him cut back a little bit. And then you see number 2, Quan Yu Lee.
Is that Hancock that came up with the football? Again, playing in a bowl game. What that tells me is they have too many bowl games out there. Litton just fires this one. Wow! Is it caught? No, incomplete. Obiallo, I thought he was throwing it away at first, and Obiallo almost came down with the score.
And he seems pretty sure of himself that that's a touchdown, because he's pointing at the video screen right now. And let's see as he goes up for this football, see if he can keep the 1 foot in bounds.
Ooh.
I'm wondering who's knocking over that pylon right now.
Did a great job of boxing out. DeAndre Ferris, the cornerback. Ooh, that's going to be close. Did the left foot?
It's the right foot that we're going to be looking at to see if he get that right foot down.
But did the left foot touch out of bounds first? Well, Doc is up 27-10. He's not going to challenge the call. I thought they were going to go upstairs and Paul Jones would make the call as the replay official. Instead, they're going to line this up for a 44-yard kick. Vedvic's 2 for 2 already tonight.
God, he looks so smooth when he swings his leg, doesn't he? It almost looks effortless. He's a big kid, too.
Well, those Norwegian kickers, Jan Stenerud of the Kansas City Chiefs for so many years. Leading the receivers.
Michael Looper had a big night against FIU. His big night was 6 catches, 72 yards. Definitely a PB for him tonight.
Davis with the return again. Davis weaving his way around, waiting for the wedge. He found one, found a hole, and gets up over the 35, close to the 40-yard line. Boy, usually a running back will wait for his blocks, but usually a kick return, you just try to hit that wedge. But he waited for his blocks, found a hole, and wound up with a nice return.
Yeah, not only doing it in the running game, but also doing it in the kick return game, too. But Keon Davis got 1,000 career rushing yards.
With a 6-touchdown game he had against Oklahoma State. Alabama trailing Mississippi State right now as well.
A little bit of an early jump right now. Question is did that defensive tackle cross into the neutral zone to go ahead and entice that tackle to jump? I think Ty Tyler might have jumped across into the neutral zone. We'll see.
Dead ball. The defensive player was in the neutral zone, causing the offensive lineman to move. Encroaching, 5-yard penalty against the defense. First down.
Good call.
My guess is you're going to look for White to go ahead and try to connect with Hooper again.
Oh, he's going down. Exactly what Chuck Heater said. Number 17, Ty Tyler. He's the guy that'll put pressure on that quarterback, and there's their second sack.
They've been waiting for him to kind of come out of his shell, too. He's been a 3-star prospect. He's continually trying to get down there and get to that quarterback, singling him up one-on-one against Jamie Sims, the redshirt senior out of New Orleans.
I don't know if you can hear the Bluebirds voicing their displeasure, but White out of the shotgun, empty backfield, swings it out to Moses. Moses puts his shoulder down, and he's not going anywhere. Brought down by Johnson in their own territory. But inside 8.5 minutes to go. Here comes the blitz. Hancock. Boy, Hancock and Durant both got their paws. And the line of scrimmage is flipped as they turn it over on downs. And Mike White is gingerly hobbling off the field.
Yeah, that might have been the old nail in the coffin right there. I know you still got about 9 minutes left to play. 8:18 to be exact. But when you have a double sack like this is a beautiful call by Chuck Heater, the defensive coordinator for Marshall. You got your defensive end who's
right now Western Kentucky with only 16 on the board.
With nowhere to run. Big Ryan B. If it wasn't going to be Ryan B, it was going to be Hancock, because they had that same blitz on that they ended up getting the big sack on the series before.
No half a sack that time, right? He gets the full sack.
Oh, that's going to be all B. That'll be 1.5 for him tonight, possibly 2, depending on how they want to score it.
White fires, looking for a quick score. He's got it. Touchdown. Jernigan. That's Jernigan's second touchdown catch in his third this season. Second of the night.
You got 3 minutes left on the clock. Going to be down by 13 at this point in time. They going for 2? Nope, they don't need it.
So White came in with 14 touchdowns. Mason Fine and Chase Litton both had 18.
They might want to replay this one as well. His toe might have been out of bounds right there. I don't know if you saw what I just saw. I think his toe might have been out of bounds. They're going to have to go review that one.
But they were trying to get that extra point kicked in a hurry before they reviewed it.
His shoe size might be too big right now on this one. We're going to need a different angle.
Yeah, hard to tell. I don't think there's indisputable video evidence to overturn that, though.
I think the best look we had was the original one. You can see right here. Take a look. Boom.
It's close. It's very close.
Yeah. I don't know if
it's going to stand. They're going to kick the extra point, so it's going to be a touchdown. The third scoring strike by Mike White. Davis, the lone return man, backpedaling inside the 5-yard line. He's going to have to bring this one back, waiting for his blocks. Not too many blockers there. Gets over the 15, 20. Boy, 25. Still on his feet. What a great job by Davis. I thought he was going to be pinned back, way back by the 10-yard line. Instead, he winds up over the 40, close to the 45.
Yeah, what a great return. He just sat there and waited. I was wondering what he was waiting on, and clearly he's waiting on his blockers and to try to create a little bit of movement and allow him to set up those blockers and totally change the position on the football field.
Can Marshall move the change? This is King.
There we go, fresh legs.
Knocked out of bounds around the 35. So speaking of moving the chains,
he stepped out a little bit earlier, so we're going to go back to the 41 right now. But yeah, Tyler King having fresh legs, sitting on the sideline. I imagine sitting on a bicycle, going ahead and doing that outside zone play right now. That's all him. That's all him.
He's got that extra gear.
And will they have developed a run game by then?
Yurachek still on his feet. Yurachek, who had 2 touchdowns last week, knocked out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. He's got 6 touchdowns. He wanted number 7 in the worst way right here.
He gave him that ball the minute his head spun around. You could see that the 4.840 that Yurachek tries to claim to fame. All 4.8 of it right there. It's a good-looking helmet right there. Kudos to the equipment staff for Marshall. They got the old logo on the one side of the, I believe it's a bison, snarling and blowing smoke out of its nose, and on the other side they got the M.
That's going to do it. That's going to be the final play. Clock is running inside 30 seconds right now, and Doc Holliday has the victory.
Check that, the other side had the 75, along with the names of all the fallen down the middle of the stripe.
From the tragic 1970 plane crash. So it's a victory on the anniversary game. Very meaningful game.
Never lost.
For Marshall. Chase Litton did not play in last year. Picks up the victory as the starting quarterback